type of violent end to their life. But there's not enough evidence to support that there was a war taking place. And so that challenges defense theories. Other theories suggest they are moving from here because of resource depletion, especially deforestation. Combine that with the drought. There was about a 24-year drought, and you can see this through dendrochronology, the tree dating. Those rings are very close to one another, starting around the early 1200 time frames that lasted for about 24 years. Combine that with a loss of a lot of the trees, because they're cutting down a lot of trees for firewood, for construction, as well as clearing areas up top for farm fields. And you dig really deep into that trash pile, you'll run into deer, elk, and bighorn, all kinds of big mammal bones. Near the surface, nothing but rodents. So that's an indication of a loss of your forest. But the biggest challenge to that theory is where they move to. You know, if you're hurting for big animals to hunt and hurting for water, you could just walk really close to the mountains. Instead, you walk further into the desert, well into the desert, where there's less trees and less water. And that's a huge challenge to that idea. And so that's kind of your two extreme archaeological theories. And one of these days, somebody's going to be really into archaeology and push me off this when I say this. But we don't know some of this answers because archaeology is a science that does not have a control. It can repeat that control. And then science is an entity that's there to answer questions that begin with the word how, not why. You know what I mean? And I can prove that with you guys. How did you get up here? You know, you came all up the same way. You drove up that incredibly straight road. You got to the visitor center, drove down another really straight road, you know, and then bam, you're here. And that's repeated over and over. But why are you here? You know, some of you are here because you were here as a child, and now maybe you're bringing your child to visit this place. Some of you are here, you're so interested in Southwest archaeology, you just couldn't wait to get here. You've been to Chaco Canyon, you've been to Bandelier, all these different areas. Now you're here at Mesa Verde. And some of you are here because you're on your way to the Grand Canyon, and you saw this sign on the highway that says, Mesa Verde. Hey, I think I'll check it out. Boom, snap my book, here I am, you know. And that's fine too. There's no right or wrong answer, but your answers are very different though, correct? And so maybe that's the same case here. And there's one more theory I'll share with you when we get to up to that area, and that's what the descendants think happened to their own people. And it's just as valid as any other theory. But the construction, those how questions, and that's the part that's remarkable that connects us as human beings. The tenacity to live here is amazing. How did they build this place? And that's what we'll go look at next when we go stand down in this area right here. But as you're walking slowly to this area, stop at a couple of places and look up. Like right here, the main support beams, archaeologists use Spanish terms, that's pronounced viga. The secondary beams are called maquillas. And these are two viga beams sticking out where the structure's touching the roof of the alcove. Take a look at that wall and just see how it's amazingly curved. Look at the round tower, how tapered it is. They had to have some sort of understanding of geometry. You know, I don't think you could just stand here and go, okay, Bob, looks good, buddy, nail it, you know? There had to be some type of understanding and plan and layout of this system, especially after those two areas. The upper ledge up there is divided into 9 quadrants, and that dry stacking is originally theirs. And some archaeologists believe that that was their granary. There was evidence of corn pollen found up there, as well as corn cobs, so that could have been. All these openings you're looking at, these vertical rectangles, are actually doorways. And if you go to that upper ledge to the extreme left, where you see that single doorway, that's the limited access to it. If you go about 4 to 6 inches, I'd say, below each bottom corner of that doorway, you'll see little grooves. And that's where the top of about a 10, 12-foot ladder used to rest off and then the base of the base of the ladder is resting on a roof right below it. And that was the only access up to that upper ledge. The dry stacking in the middle of that upper ledge has a couple of thoughts. If it was a granary, some archaeologists felt like if it was a granary, then, well, that's dry stacking allowing ventilation into your granary. In case you get a moisture in there, you won't lose your harvest to a mold. Other archaeologists that don't necessarily think that that might have been the only granary, some suggest that that was just a quick fix, or they were hurting for water at that point and they're salvaging mortar. But that is original up there, and when you're walking down in the center, you look up at that. What's that game where you pull out one thing and it all falls?
Jenga.
Jenga.
Jenga, yeah. It's so precariously stacked, especially with that notch in there. Is she okay? Okay, yeah. We'll be moving down right now, get everybody in the shade, but take your time walking. We'll meet you right in the center, and I'll tell you what we know about the people, as well as the amazing construction that these people did.